landed on rocks. I have fell into waters, and I still have stayed strong and faced all my fears head on. I got tired of being enslaved, and I decided to make a change. Here's my journey.
Hey y'all, how you doing? I hope everybody is doing well today, and happy Monday. Why is it happy Monday? It is only happy Monday because it is another day that we are breathing, and you guys are here with me today. So that means you are breathing, I'm breathing, and that's why it's a joyful day today. So jumping right into the video, today we are talking about how you make money on the road. A lot of people always say to me, they be like, Pavi, they be like, you always moving around all over the place. How you making money? Or how do you do it? Or how do I do it if I'm going to be out on the road? Or in other words, if you're a nomad, how are you going to do it? Well, obviously, a lot of these jobs, well, it might not be obvious to some people, but obviously, you know, for the most part, you're going to be working remotely. So in 2021, for the most part, you're going to be working on a computer. And if you don't have any other computer skills, there are other ways. No worries. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. First, I'm going to talk about me. Okay. Me personally, I run a tax business. Okay. I run a tax business half of the year, which is seasonal. So I personally have the luxury to move around to anywhere that I want to be because all of my tax clients are all over the United States, including some even in Canada. With the tax business, of course, taxes are going to be done every year. We got to be paying Mr. Tom. So this is how I make my money half of the year. The other half of the year during the winter time, I crochet. So I also, I crochet during the winter time, and I make hats and scarves and dresses and everything else. Okay. And I do that during the winter time. That's another way that I make my money. Also, as well, when I'm able to and when I want to, I hustle other companies. I say hustle other companies. So I work for other businesses where I either do inbound calling. I try to do anything where I'm able to work from home. I feel like working from home is the safest place because I personally don't like to be working for anybody anyway. I'm so used to working for myself. And it's so much more convenient because I ain't got to be worried about nobody's schedule. I don't got to be at nobody's job at a certain time. I ain't got no time for that, sis. I want to work my own schedule whenever I want to. I don't need nobody's schedule board, nobody's 9 to 5. Nobody trying to tell me that they're going to fire me and I'm not going to get paid or I got to go. Granted, I have worked for a lot of companies. Like I've told you guys in my other video, I've worked since I was 14. So I do have Social Security money accumulated just for an emergency. But I don't like working for nobody, but if I'm going to work for somebody, I like to work at home. So that's what I do too as well. Now, those are some of the ideas that you could jump on. But let's say that you're not a computer person. Let's say you're not computer savvy. Let's say, you're just not tech savvy. You're just like, well, Pavi, I ain't into the computer stuff. That's okay. Let's say you don't got no work. And let's say you're trying to do this van life and you're trying to escape the rent. You're trying to do RV life or you're trying to do schoolie life. You're trying to either do the bus, RV, van life. I'm going to get into this on another video. There's going to be another video where I'm going to talk about should you be deciding to do van life, RV life, or get a school bus and do schoolie life. Okay, until you buy your land and start building on it. This all working up to buying your land. That's the ultimate goal, is to buy your land, build your house and all your stuff on it. That's the ultimate goal. However, you can still have your van and your schoolie always on wheels just for emergency, no matter whether or not you have your land or not. Because in your bus and your RV or your van, you can get up and move anytime. Remember, even if you have your land, stuff can go wrong. So you want to have something on wheels that you can always have just in case of emergency. So anyways, moving on. If you're not tech savvy, there's ways to make money on the road while you're traveling, such as you can go on Facebook. I was watching another influencer. I don't know if I want to call her influencer per se, but I would feel she was an influencer because she influenced me to a certain extent. I can't speak on everybody's behalf, because this might not be convenient for everybody, especially depending on your health, your physical health, and all of that stuff. But back in the days when there were nomads, from way back in the days, okay, and when there was no internet and all of that stuff, a lot of nomads would stop at certain farms on the ways, on their travels, and see if they had work for either, you know, picking cherries, picking apples, whatever the case may be. They'll get paid by the hour and maybe work for the weekend and then get paid and keep it moving, jump to the next destination. Now with technology, you can get on Facebook, okay, you can get even on Craigslist, and there'll be certain farmers in certain states that they're only hiring for the day or two. And if you need to, you know, pick potatoes, whatever the case may be, whatever type of work they need, you might need to milk cows, whatever, if you're into farm work, and you could get paid after 2 days, and you get to enjoy the land, you get to enjoy the different property, and you get to enjoy the different scenery, as well as you make money while you're on the road. So I learned this from her as well. If I can remember her name, I will link it in the description. If I can't, then I won't. But when I do remember her name, I'll try to link it in the future videos just in case. But otherwise than that, she goes more in depth into that. But that was another cool idea that I thought there was. Also as well, if you make your kitchen setup good enough, you can also, if you're a good cook, this is one of my ideas, because this is a plan that I plan on doing, because I'm also a good cook. I cook Jamaican food, Spanish food, American food, all type of foods. I cook very good. And so I used to sell food back in the days, and you can have a little carry out of your vehicle. You know, you can stop off at different places, let people know that you're selling food, have your little sign up, let people know you selling food, you know. And even if you don't want to put your sign up for legality purposes, you can just let people know that you travel through the area and you sell certain things. You might be selling, if you Spanish, you might sell maybe mangoes with some salsa on it. You might be selling some maybe churros or something. You might be selling some tacos or something. Whatever it is, you could be hustling because you got your little kitchen on wheels. So that's another little hustle. You could hustle and sell food on wheels. Another way to make money. I told you guys that I crochet. If you crochet or knit, okay, even though it might not be winter time, there's a lot of little things that you can make. Like I make a lot of little sweaters and little tops and stuff that are very holey. So then that way they're very airy, so people are not hot when they're wearing them. They can even wear those during the fall months before wintertime comes in. And some people like to purchase those things ahead of time at a decent price. And because you're on the road, you have no bills, you're not, your money, what you're looking for as far as money is not major. So what you would sell those products for on Etsy or on your website is not the same that you're going to sell it for in the country when you're riding through. So that sweater that you might sell for $50 on Etsy, you're probably only going to sell it for $20 on the road, $25, because that $25 is going to take you a long way. Okay? And you know, you're not as stressed when you're making it. You're relaxing while you're making that sweater. And you know, you might have a lot of goods like me just all lined up. You know, like me, I have a whole pack of things just lined up, waiting from even last year that didn't sell last year that I have for this year. Those are other little amazing ways that you can make money, okay? Let's say you're not a good cook, but you're a good baker. You can bake cookies and stuff and muffins and stuff. Pack them up and plan on selling them on the road while you're on the way. That's another wonderful way to make money. So not everything has to do with computers and technologies, because I'm old school too. And I personally don't like everything that has to do with computers or technology.
Here's Pavi's corny joke. Did you hear about the monkeys that shared an Amazon account? Well, they were primates. Get it?
You can also buy certain things and carry it with you, like certain things from the thrift store. If you like, well, forget the technology, forget all that stuff, I don't know how to cook, I don't need all that hassle. You could bring certain things that you get, like make sure you're being picky and choosy with this stuff now, because you got to be carrying this stuff with you. So be picky and choosy with this one. This one might be, you might want to fluctuate with this, but you can go to the thrift stores on certain days before you start to get on the road with you and your family or whatever, depending on how much space you got. You can use the vacuum bags where they can suck out the air, okay? And you can buy thrift store goods like certain dresses and shirts for men and pants for men, and you can vacuum bag them, and then you can set up shop in certain areas if they allow you to, if you ask permission or wherever you're at for that time, and say, hey, I'm on the road. It's all about asking permission. Some people are very nice. Some people might say, no, you can't do that here without a permit, or it might not be allowed. That's okay. You just got to always have a plan B. Just don't stick to one thing. Always have something else that you got going on. Even if it's your Social Security money. Even if it's just your once a month check that you get. Even if you ain't got nothing going on. Always have a plan B. So even if that plan B is buying some muffins or cookies and repackaging them and selling them. Even if it's buying some and selling them. Whatever. Some people buy things and then resell them for a little bit higher price to make a profit. People do that. But whatever. You want to have a backup plan so then that way you at least keep your gas available. Because remember, you could park at Walmart and sleep for free if you had to in your RV or your van. So you just want to make sure you have enough money to keep your gas going and stuff like that, where you're not on the street asking for nobody for no money and stuff like that. Even if you got to sell whatever you have, you just want to make sure you have enough money stacked up, okay, before you even get on the road. Backup money a little bit, even if you don't have a lot, because you're trying to escape the rent. So I know it ain't much to work with, but if you're able to have something, a little backup stash, make sure you do that. So you can ask somebody permission and say, hey, can I sell, some of my clothes here on the side? And you can hang up those little thrift store and name brand stuff, some purses and stuff. A lot of women like purses. Hang up purses and stuff and sell those for a little bit more expensive than what you got them at the thrift store, of course, but still within people's budgets. Make sure they nice, cleaned up and stuff. Make sure they nice, just resell, like you would resell a used good. People know that they're used, but if they cleaned up nice, even I will buy them. I don't care if they're used, but if it's nice and cleaned up, I'll buy it. So, this is what you want to do. These are ways that you can hustle and make money on the road. You can also stop off in certain places and just pick up little side hustles at certain jobs where they're just looking for part-time workers. If you have found a spot to park your school bus or your RV or your van while you hustle and work that job for those few weeks. Sometimes that's not possible, especially if you have family and stuff. That's why I'm saying the whole food hustle and stuff is much more easier. The food hustle, or if you work remotely. Okay? Now, let's say if you want to work remotely, but you don't know where to look yet. Indeed.com. Go to Indeed. What's another place that I saw that was recommended? FlexJobs. FlexJobs.com. I think Fiverr.com is another one that I got from another lady. But Indeed is where I got my inbound home position from Indeed. So go to Indeed. They got a lot of remote jobs. And I've already confirmed my job that I could take mines on the road. Pretty much. Because they remote anywhere as long as I got internet. So there's a lot of remote positions. And you can make yourself $13, $14 an hour. And that's enough because you'll be escaping the rent. You're not paying bills no more. So the necessity of money is going to go down. So it's not going to be like if you're paying rent and then you're like, $11, $10 an hour, that ain't no money. When you're on the road, you're not thinking about money as much. Because you're only thinking about the necessities because your house is on wheels now. And nobody ain't charging you no rent. You just finding somewhere to park. Make sure your solar, you got enough sun for your solar panels. You just making sure you got enough propane or whatever you're using to cook with. And if you got an electrical stove or something you could plug in real quick, you good with that as long as you got solar panels. You don't need propane. Because now these days they got electrical stoves. You can just plug right in. There's a whole bunch of million ways that you could do this stuff. So don't stress yourself out and think there's not a way. There's a way to get around this stuff and there's a way to work. So if y'all was waiting for this video, it's here. This is the way you're going to make your cha-ching. This is the way you're going to make that money. It's by working remotely. This is how it is. This is how, if you wanted to know, this is how I'm making my money. This is how you're going to make your money. Okay? Now, for them single ladies out there, you got some other sites too that you could work on, some other pages that you can hook it up. Now, if you got a van life or a RV life and you're a single lady, that's a nice little setup. That's a nice little setup if you want an OnlyFans page. Indeed. But if you want one of them pages or a little side hustle, girl, you got it easy there. You ain't got no kids with you. Ain't got nothing. You got it easy. Okay? You could do cam work. You could do any type of work. If you single with no kids by yourself, you got it good. You got it mad. You know what I'm talking about. And then on top of that, you can even hustle different cities, because I used to dance. So you can hustle different cities, jump from here to here in your RV, and you can dance. I'm sure there's a lot of dancers and strippers right now doing the same thing. Got their little RV, their little van. They live out of their van instead of renting out a hotel. That's dumb. When you can just have a van. Duh, ladies. And go to your strip clubs, work your strip clubs, sit on, stack your money, and live in your van. Live in your RV. Live in your school bus. It makes sense. It makes pure sense. Think about it. I'm done with you guys today. Well, at least for right now. And I appreciate you guys for joining me today. Make sure that if you have any questions or concerns or comments, you can email me anytime, because I'm a person that I do respond. And I don't care how much this thing blows up or doesn't blow up. I'm going to respond to you. Awakenandliveagain@gmail.com. Also, check me out on Facebook, Awaken and Live Again, my Facebook page. Really interesting there. You'll love my podcast. You can check me out on Anchor.fm as well for my podcast. Everything is Awaken and Live Again. I have that all in the description for you. And also, if you haven't yet, subscribe and like the channel if you like the content that I have here, because all it's going to do is get better. It's just going to get better, because you need to know the steps from A to Z. Okay, you can't just know the steps from when everything looks like it's just easy peasy. I got my bus and everything just happened. No, you gotta know. I still only got $50 in the bank. Remember I told you on another video? Yeah, because I'm taking the steps with you guys. So as I progress and I get to my first cap, so if you watch my other videos, you know what I mean by my first cap. So once I get to my first cap, you guys are going along the journey with me. This is real. I can't be nothing else but real. Y'all already told you I can't be nothing else but real. So if y'all want to continue this journey with me, please subscribe. So y'all, hit that bell notification right up there. Bing, bing. So you guys can know what's up. Love you guys. You guys take care, and remember, there's no such thing as good people and bad people. There's joyful people and miserable people, and I choose to be joyful every day. May God bless you all. Que Dios lo bendiga todo, and assalamu alaikum. Bye now.